I never imagined marriage could feel like silence. Not the peaceful kind that hums between two people who are content, but the kind that exists when words have run out. I'm Daniel, 38, and for years I believed love meant patience. I've since learned that sometimes it simply means endurance. When I first met Laura, she was electric. People noticed her immediately. The way she laughed, how she filled a room without trying. I was quieter, grounded. Maybe that's why we clicked at first. Her chaos, my calm. But over the years, that balance faded. Her voice grew louder and my presence smaller. The first time she said, "Don't take everything so seriously." It was after I discovered messages from a man named Travis. Nothing explicit, just flirtatious enough to sting. She waved it off with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "You're overreacting," she said. I wanted to believe her. Love makes you rewrite reality until the pain dulls, but those small cracks widened into quiet distances. She started working late, dressing up for nights out, leaving her phone face down more and more. I asked if we were okay. Her answer was always the same: "You're too sensitive." When someone tells you that enough, you start seeing your feelings as flaws. I tried date nights, flowers, weekends away. Every gesture meant the same amused indifference, like I was entertaining a child. Once, when I suggested counseling, she laughed. "Marriage isn't therapy, Daniel. It's supposed to be fun. Is it fun for you?" That night, lying beside her, listening to her breathing, I realized it no longer comforted me. It just reminded me how distant she had become, even when inches away. Months passed. Our home felt polite, civil, like co-workers sharing a kitchen. One evening, while I was cooking, she looked up from her phone. "You know, if you don't like how things are, you could always find someone else." I froze. The ease of her words, that teasing smile, it shifted something inside me. She expected anger or a plea, but I felt only clarity. It wasn't the words that hurt. It was the casual way she spoke them. For years, I had been chasing a version of her that no longer existed. Perhaps she never did. Perhaps I was in love with a memory. I began to pull back, not with bitterness, but calm. I stopped explaining myself. I stopped fixing things she didn't notice were broken. I went back to the gym, joined a running group, cooked for one instead of two. She noticed, of course. "Going somewhere?" she asked one evening. "Yeah, meeting some friends." "Since when do you have friends?" she teased. "Since I stopped waiting for you to come home," I said. She rolled her eyes, trying to brush it off, but I saw a flicker of unease. A few weeks later, I met Emma. She wasn't dazzling, not like Laura, but she listened. She laughed easily, asked about my day, cared. Coffee twice a week, dinner once. Nothing inappropriate, just connection I'd forgotten existed. One night, Laura asked me to help move boxes in the garage. While we worked, she said, "You seem different lately." "Cold?" "I'm not cold," I said quietly. "Just done being warm where it's not wanted." I added. Her smirk faltered. "Don't like it? Find someone else." I looked at her. For the first time in years, I felt no pain, only truth. I already had. Her smile froze. Her eyes flickered, confusion giving way to panic. Silence didn't feel empty anymore. It felt final. For a long moment, she just stood there, mouth half open. Then she laughed, too sharp, too loud. A sound meant to fill the space before reality could settle. "Cute," she said, shaking her head, trying to make me jealous. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Silence carried the weight. She followed me into the kitchen. "So who is she?" "One of your gym friends, or that woman from work who keeps liking your posts." I rinsed my hands, wiped them, and said calmly, "Does it matter?" The calm in my voice unsettled her more than any accusation could. She wanted drama, a fight, proof I still cared enough to argue. I had spent years drowning in that noise. Now I just want peace. She scoffed, stormed off, muttering something about a midlife crisis. I let her go. For the first time, I realized I didn't have to chase the conversation anymore. I had been running after her for so long that standing still felt like freedom. That night, she slept on her side, back turned, phone glowing faintly in her hand. I looked at the light spilling across her shoulder and realized how long I had mistaken distance for loyalty. Love doesn't always leave with a grand gesture. It fades quietly while you're still holding the door open. In the days that followed, she tried everything. Anger, cold remarks, slammed drawers, pointless questions, then curiosity. Where are you going? Who are you meeting? Finally, concern. You've been quiet lately. Are we okay? Clarity has a way of making everything obvious. We're fine, I said, just heading in different directions. She didn't like that answer. She expected begging or explanation, but the truth required none. One evening, sitting down for dinner at the same table for the first time in weeks, she asked, "Are you sleeping with her?" "No," I said, "but I'm honest with her. That's something I can't say about us anymore." Her fork froze. I saw her eyes soften, the first crack in her armor. "So this is it? This was it a while ago. We just kept pretending." I said. The next morning, I packed a few bags. Only what was mine. I didn't want to leave in anger. I wanted to leave right. I left her, the house, the routines, the comfort, and took my clothes, my books, my peace. At the door, she appeared. "Daniel, wait," she said, voice trembling, stripped of sarcasm. I didn't mean it. That day in the garage, I was joking. I turned and met her eyes. For the first time, I saw real fear, the kind that comes when someone realizes you're serious. "I know you were," I said gently, "but you assumed I'd never actually leave." "This other woman?" she began. "No," I said. "You are why." She reminded me what being truly seen feels like. For a second, neither of us moved. Then I reached for the handle. "I hope you find what you were chasing. I'm done being the thing you run from." Outside, the air felt lighter, the night sky sharper. Freedom doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just exhales. A week later, I met Emma at a small cafe. She asked how it went. I told her the truth. No drama, no bitterness. She smiled softly. "So what now?" she asked. I laughed. I remembered who I was before apologizing for existing. She reached across the table, touched my hand, and for the first time in years, I didn't need to explain myself. I just felt enough. Sometimes closure doesn't come from forgiveness or revenge. It comes the moment you stop auditioning for a love that was never yours. Laura texted a few times after that, nostalgic, confused. I didn't respond. There was nothing left to clarify. When she once said, "Don't like it? Find someone else," she never imagined I would. And when I did, the proud, easy smile she wore so effortlessly transformed into panic. Not because she lost me, but because she realized I was never hers to dismiss.